In Consign Me radio program right here, and I have amazing guests like I mentioned. We will be looking at a little of some of the issues in that radio drama, but let's introduce to you our guests in the studio, and they've been here before. Thank you so much for coming again, and we have Mikat right here, if you heard that name on radio, and we have the international director Anne Abok. Thank you so much for coming again.
Oh, thank you so much,
Glad
Queen
to
of the
have
Mic.
you.
Thank you.
And we also have the country director of MICAT, Mr. James. Mr. James, glad to have you.
Thank you. It's always a delight to be here.
And if you saw our flyer perhaps on social media and all, you'd see me with a beautiful lady, and she's right here in the studio, Karen Kiergaard, and she is the director now, director of Exist. Glad to have you in the studio.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so you can watch us live on Facebook and YouTube, and feel free to drop your comments and your questions as well. Now, let me start with International Director of MICAT. You've been here before, like twice or three times. What was the idea behind, just having just a program to begin to have a full radio program on radio about human trafficking?
Well, like our name says, we're a media-based organization. We really believe in the power of the medium.
Yeah.
And when you had us in the studio to talk about human trafficking, we felt like this would be a good platform to really amplify the voices that speak against human trafficking. Because as it stands today, almost about 50 million people globally are enslaved in human trafficking or modern slavery, as it were. So for us, this is such a good platform. I'm partnering with Eagles FM and getting support from the High Commission of Australia in Abuja really has made it possible for us to do this. Thank you.
And we're so glad. And so let's go to Karen Kiergaard. You have been an advocate for human trafficking. Why human trafficking for you? Why did you choose to get into this advocacy in the first place?
Yeah, I was located, or I am located in Denmark, in the northern part of Europe, and it just happened that I heard about Anne Abok, who's here, and we decided to meet in Jos here in Nigeria, which we did in 2010, and we spent some days together there, and we made a workshop, and we invited some people there who are interested in the fight against human trafficking. So we were there together, I think 20 people or something like that, 3 days.
Yeah.
And when I heard Anne speak, and I heard Naptic speak, and other people who were there, and I thought, wow, this is new knowledge for me, because of course I knew about human trafficking. Who does not know about it?
Yeah.
But it was not something that really hit me. But those days, in this relationship and meeting with Anne, I was kind of, I became very curious, and the thought came to me, if Anne can do what she is saying she's willing to do in Nigeria, wonder why couldn't I do it in Denmark?
Wow.
And if the two of us, we could be in cooperation with one another, inspire one another, get motivated, get knowledge about the whole thing, then I saw here's a future. And I felt that I can make a change in that field as well.
Have you had any experience with Nigerians in Denmark who might possibly be victims of trafficking?
Yes, I have lots of experiences, because one day I woke up, this happened 14 years ago, one day I woke up in Denmark and I thought, why do I work with Nigerian women living in prostitution in Nigeria when they are outside my front door, And then, long story short, I contacted different churches around in the very center of Copenhagen, close to the red light district there. And yes, they said, yes, of course, we will do that. So we made a night cafe. So that night cafe, the name is Night Light Cafe. It is open every week in a church there. It's open between 12 and 3 in the night. So volunteers, they show up at 11:30 p.m., and then we go home 3:30 or something like that. But this night cafe is open, so Nigerian women living in prostitution in Copenhagen, they can come to the night cafe, have a cup of coffee, a chat, and we make flower decorations or jewelers, or we play a game, and we screw up for the music because it's in the midst of the night, so nobody
Yes.
can hear us. And then your sisters